Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, the host of We Need to Talk with Chris Godinez on every Sunday at noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and then I post it up to Facebook. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom, shakalaka done. I would like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They are an online telehealth counseling service, so they hook you up with telehealth counselors, and they are fantastic. I absolutely am so thrilled with them. I'm getting a lot of good feedback from them. They are super inexpensive. They're affordable. So it's like, I think for a package of 4, it works out to like $65. And it's great because if you're in a small town and you don't like the counselors there, but you don't want to have to drive hours to find another one, get on to betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. Fill out the questionnaire, and they will put you with a licensed professional counselor in your state that is master's level or PhD level. And if you're outside of the United States, this is the great part, you can get on there and get with a counselor here in the U.S. So betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. Thumbs up. All right, there we go. Let's start in on the questions. Have you heard of the Free Britney movement? Yes. And yes, I think she should be allowed to make her own decisions. So I've got a whole bunch of opinions on that, but since I did not have her as a client, I really cannot speak to what was going on with her when they did do the conservatorship. But after all these years, yeah, don't get me started. Okay. Hi, Chris from Miami. When will you be touring again? Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So here's the evil plan right now. I'm thinking about going back out on the road next spring, so this coming spring, so spring 2022. So I have promised the UK I will get back to the UK, so that's my evil plan, is to get back to the UK provided everything's opened up. I don't know what's going to happen with this Delta variant thing, so my evil plan is to start touring again next spring, so I'm probably looking at March. It's probably when I'm going to start up again here in the US at the very least. And then I got to figure out how I can get over to the UK. Got to visit my sister while I'm over there. So yeah, that's the evil plan is March, and I've got to figure out where I'm going to start first. So I've got a lot of people that would like me to come out. So I would love to go to Miami again. That would be so much fun. I've got family out there. That would be fun. So anyway, yes, I will. John and I will be talking about, okay, well, where can we go? What should we do? You know, it's probably going to be March, I think, is what I'm thinking, is to do that. So, also, February, maybe, but I've got a trip planned, and I'm not sure if there's enough people up there to actually do, a meet and greet. So I'll talk about that a little later once we kind of start, you know, solidifying what we're doing. What happens if I go to hell? Okay, well, I'm not a theologian. I'm a counselor, but basically it depends on your spirituality. You know, according to Buddhism, you create your own hell. According to Buddhism, it's like, you know, if you live the life that's not good, you reincarnate and have to do it all over again, and you keep, doing it until you get it right. So, or you create your own hell. In the Judeo-Christian, you go to the typical traditional hell where you're tormented for eternity. It depends on your spirituality. I'm not a theologian. Don't ask me these questions that are outside of my wheelhouse. So what I would suggest is, if you are truly interested in the different religions, read up on them. There literally is a book called Buddhism for Dummies. Read up on the different religions and what their idea of hell is. So, I honestly think people create their own hell. If you watch a narcissist, if you watch an abuser, it may look like in the beginning, oh, they're getting their way and they're so happy and that, and they're not. They're absolutely not. They don't have people that like them because they are unlikable. So, connection. Connection is the most important thing. Relationships. People are the most important things. People. They're not things, they're people. But abusers confuse that with, oh no, money's the most important thing, and prestige, and this, and that, and the other thing. And really, at the end of the day, it's like, do you have loved ones? Are they going to hold your hand while you're dying in your old age? Are they going to be there for you? That's kind of it. Narcissists don't have that. And there are nursing homes filled with these old, deflated narcissists. I think I talked about this several times. So that would be my idea of hell, is being alone and hated and not having anyone to love you or hold you or brush your hair or, tell you jokes, make you laugh. I mean, that would be my idea of hell. And a lot of these narcissists end up absolutely alone. They may have all the money in the world, but they're miserable. No, thank you. I would rather have enough money to live and be happy. So, but the world's not enough for them. So, yeah, it depends on your spirituality. So, if you are truly interested in what are the different definitions of hell, start reading, start researching. Start with pick a religion. Start with, I don't know, Buddhism or Judeo-Christianism or, the Quran. There's all sorts of different religions. Look it up. So there you go. But go ask a theologian. Here's the thing. You don't go to a plumber and ask them what to do for tooth decay. So don't come to a therapist and ask them a theological question, okay? All right. I mean, I can give you my opinion, but it would not be my professional opinion. It would just be my opinion. So, all right. Video request. Can you please do a video on baiting? Yes, I can. Give me a few weeks. I will definitely do that. How do I beat this feeling of the more successful I become, the meaner my family will be? Well, if it is reality, if you have been successful in the past and they have been mean, then that's not something to beat. That is something to go, that's going to happen. Absolutely, that is going to happen. So what do I do with it? Okay. Well, when you're successful, there are going to be, and you've got a dysfunctional, abusive family, there are going to be certain members of that family that want you to fail because they're angry that you've outdone them. So that's when you go no contact. So it's not beating a feeling. I mean, unless it's really not real. I mean, and I don't know because I don't know family situation. So if there is previous evidence to show that they will be meaner the more successful you become, then that's when you have to ask yourself the question, if I were not related to these bozos, would I have anything to do with them? And if the answer is no, act accordingly. Boom. There it is. So, yeah. So that is something only you can decide whether this is a real situation or whether this is just a fear or, but usually in healthy, normal families, there's not that fear that they're going to become mean. Usually in healthy, normal families, you know that you're going to have support. You know that they're going to be cheering you. You know that it's going to be good. So, yeah, if you think they're going to become mean, that's when you got to start looking at low contact to no contact. And again, if you were not related to these people, would you have anything to do with them? If the answer is no, don't. Okay. How to deal with it. I have so much guilt about my parents being old. I feel like a horrible person for going no contact. Okay. Again, narcissists do not do well as they age. They don't. They get nastier. They get more vicious. Because they're frightened because they're getting towards the end of their life. They obviously have not made amends or an understanding with their higher power. They're terrified of dying because they can't control it. They don't know what's going to happen. None of us do, really. But you either have an acceptance and you're like, yep, I'm going to age and I'm going to die, and you're okay with that, or you're a narcissist who's like fighting it tooth and nail. No, I'm young, I'm never going to die, da, 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 and that's usually what they do. So you have nothing to feel guilty about. If they have been abusive, if they have been harmful, and if they continue to be harmful, you have the right to go no contact. Again, if you were not related to these people, would you have anything to do with them? And if the answer is no, let it go. Now, in our society, we get this whole, honor thy mother and father, and they're your parents, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no, they may be a sperm donor, they may be an egg donor, but as far as actually being parental units that raised me, no. No, thank you. If they're abusive, no, thank you. My dad, in our relationship, I went very low contact with him because he was so damaging. He died, I was okay with it. I knew he was going to at some point. So, you kind of have to be able to go, look, if this person really wanted somebody to be around them, maybe they shouldn't have acted like an asshat. Seriously. That's really what it boils down to. If you want to have family and friends around you, how about you stop acting like a heinous little butt monkey? Seriously. So they've done things that have caused you to go no contact. You have nothing to feel guilty about. And the very next line in the Bible right after honor thy mother and father is, parents, do not bring your children to anger. And it's mentioned 3 or 4 times, and there's a different line after each one. But in one of them it says, and I can't remember which one it is, but in one of them it says, parents, do not bring your children to anger. It's a two-way street, So there it is. Don't feel guilty. You have nothing to feel guilty about. Okay. My dad made excuses for my abusive stepmom. I have gone no contact with her as an adult. Do I owe my father a relationship with me even though he did not protect me? No, you don't. Again, if you were not related, this seems to be a theme. If you were not related to these people, would you have anything to do with them? If the answer is no, then don't have anything to do with them. Act accordingly. Go no contact. You owe them nothing. You owe them nothing. Just because they gave birth to you does not mean that they get to be around you. Having a relationship with someone is a privilege. It's not, it's not like, well, you're mine, and anybody who has that attitude is like, oh, damn, oh, snap, there's some problems here. You know what I'm saying? So, but with narcissists, everything is an expectation. They have this sense of entitlement. That's what I'm looking for. They have this sense of entitlement. I gave birth to you, therefore I own you, therefore you must. Obligation. So any relationship that makes you feel fearful, obligated, or guilty, fear, obligation, guilt, fog, that's an indication that that is a toxic relationship. That is your clearest, here's your sign. Okay, that is your clearest sign that that is a toxic relationship. So any relationship that makes you feel fearful, obligated, or guilty. Toxic, go no contact, stay no contact. Anytime the guilt pops up, thought stopping. Thank you, guilt. I hear you. I see you. Who does this really belong to? Oh, it's a manipulation from mom, dad, grandparents, whoever the person is that you're going no contact with. Probably. That's probably how they controlled you, was through guilt. So, okay, I hear you and see you. And you know what? I am putting you right back where you belong, onto the abuser. So, Pete Walker, PTSD, CPTSD from Surviving to Thriving by Pete Walker, Chapter 3 talks about putting it all back onto the abuser. Put it all back onto the abuser. If they did not want to be, if they wanted to be in a relationship with you, then they shouldn't have behaved heinously, basically. Do all narcissists smear? Pretty much, yeah. It depends. It's more the... and it depends on the style of smearing, too. So the overt ones go on the attack. The grandiose, overt ones go on the attack. They're going to smear their enemy. They're going to smush them into the ground. The covert ones usually do the more martyr thing. Oh, they did this to me, and I'm all alone. Drama, drama, drama. Victim, victim, victim. They're playing up their role as the victim. Do they all smear? Yeah, to some degree or another. Yeah, pretty much. The only time that they don't is when they're not assured success. So they may try it, and if it fails spectacularly, they may stop, unless they're completely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and they're a dark triad, in which case they'll keep going because they don't understand that, yes, the rules do in fact apply to you. So, yeah, it just depends, but yeah, pretty much they all smear. How do we navigate the sweet and sour abuse cycle? My husband gets sucked back in because the narcissist seems so nice and fun, but then the crazy starts all over again. He's still learning, but it's difficult. Well, it is difficult because it's the intermittent positive rewards. That's the sweet and sour of the abuse cycle. So I love you, I love you, I love you. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Love, hate, love, hate, love, hate. And it's the times we start living for the times excuse me, we start living for the times when they're kind, and that sucks us in because we're like, oh, they're gonna be good, they're gonna be kind. So that's the inner child. That's the inner child falling back for that abuse cycle, falling for the intermittent positive rewards, falling for the, oh, baby, it'll be different this time. It'll be fun. It'll be good. I'll change. They don't change. So really what I would suggest for anyone who you see struggling with that, getting sucked back into the abuse cycle, get them into a trauma therapist. Work on the trauma bonding. That's the trauma bonding. I love you, I love you, I love you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you. Intermittent positive rewards. CPTSD from Surviving to Thriving by Pete Walker is a must. Boundaries. Must work on self-esteem. Glenn Schiraldi, the Self-Esteem Workbook by Glenn Schiraldi, and Boundaries. Codependency by The Disease to Please by Harriet Breaker. Got to work on all of that. And when they are being nice and fun and trying to suck back in, I strongly suggest writing down every rotten thing they've ever done and what the cycle is to snap that inner child out of that, hypnotic trance of, oh, finally, the parents I've always wanted and needed. So that's another one. The Inner Child Workbook by Catherine Taylor. That would be a really good idea. And get with a good trauma therapist to help the both of you. I think that would be very helpful. Any thoughts on the effect of silent treatment? Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about that next week because narcissists love to do the silent treatment. They love to do word salad. They do all of these things that is so hurtful and harmful, not only to the spouse, but to the kids. And especially when they direct that at the kids, that does a lot of damage. And I want to talk about that next week. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, fantastic. I got through all the questions. Okay, so in a couple of weeks, yes, I will do a video on baiting. And they do that a lot in divorce conflict. So, yeah, they bait. They do, yeah. We'll talk. Okay. All right, kids. So that is it for today. So next week, I'm going to be talking about the silent treatment and word salad, all of the verbal things that they do to confuse the kids, all the verbal things they do to confuse you, what that does to us. And we're going to talk about how to kind of process that through for the kids, for you, and stay sane. So, all right, my loves, have a great week, and I will talk to you on Sunday. And thank you to BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. And if you are looking for a counselor, that would be your best bet. BetterHelp, online counseling, it's great. BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. All right, kids, have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.